I knew this day was going to come. When we first walked through the gardens, John Usher and I decided that unfortunately we weren't going to be able to open this iconic Florida pool and the Oriental garden with the opening of the park. It was in a pretty bad state of disrepair, and we knew that we had to focus on the existing gardens with the banyan tree and repairing the bridges and all the work that we had to do. But we fully intended to get to this point today where we had the last two remaining areas of the gardens open to the general public. And what better than the iconic Florida pool, which is probably the most iconic shot of Cypress Gardens with its history. But I also think it's worthwhile mentioning that we've also done a lot of work that you don't see in the gardens. Things like we've buried gas mains beneath the banyan tree to make sure that we heat the banyan tree during the winter. So there's been a lot of other restoration work that's at great expense that you actually don't see that we've done, with the sole purpose of preserving the gardens for future generations to come. We will also have more guests staying on property who can then enjoy the gardens in different ways. And I think that's a new dawn for not just Legoland, but also the old Cypress Gardens themselves. So this is really about the meeting of the old and the new. And I think what we're going to do further in the gardens is add more sympathetic Lego elements to make the gardens a little bit more accessible to our family and make them more eligible for people to go through the gardens. And I think that that is what Legoland has really treasured. And Legoland will always have Cypress Gardens at the heart of Legoland Florida. And it makes it different and it makes it special. Now, we couldn't open these iconic areas without recognizing also our very, very good friend, Bob Gernert. As you all know, Bob is retired as the Executive Director of the Greater Winter Haven Area Chamber of Commerce, which has always been a mouthful to me, Bob. But we also know Bob for what he's done for the gardens and what he's done for us all at Legoland. And we love Bob, and we also are very, very thankful that we have Katie going into the role, which will take us to the next level. But I want to invite Bob in here for this special day to say a few words and tell us a little bit about the history. Thanks, Bob.
Good morning. Welcome to Cypress Gardens. I think the most exciting thing about this for me is the fact that it makes this park whole again. And it makes it exactly what it was when Mr. and Mrs. Pope put the concept together so many years ago. With the pool and the Oriental Gardens open now, there's no area left in the gardens that's not accessible to the public, and I might add, magnificently maintained by Legoland. When you walk through this morning, I hope you'll take the time to go through the Oriental Gardens because it is stunning, and it's a very reflective place. Some of you may know that Dick Pope had a formula for promotions. And for his success, and he called it OPM squared, and that was our photographic material times other people's money. What Mr. Pope didn't do is spend a lot of money on advertising, because what he did was make photographs and newsreels and television shows and movies here that took the Cypress Gardens story all over the world. When Easy to Love was filmed here and opened in 1953, this pool was only used for a matter of seconds in the movie. So after it was over, Mr. Pope had them fill it with oranges and put a queen in the middle of it and took a picture of it and sent it out to newspapers so that they would run that photograph. And he continued to use the pool for promotional purposes. Of course, one of the employees said, thank God he didn't want it filled with watermelon. But today, you look at a Florida pool that is filled with 9,800 bricks from Legoland, and it's surrounded by citrus. Mr. Pope's formula was three things. He promoted Florida, he promoted citrus, and he promoted Cypress Gardens. He mixed those three together all the time. I believe that what's happened here with Legoland's commitment to the restoration of the park and making it such an integral part of the Legoland Florida experience is going to absolutely mesh with what Polk County and the city of Winter Haven are doing in many ways, and especially in Winter Haven with the efforts and work that's going on in our downtown area. And as we have dynamic new leadership at the city and at the chamber, I think the synergies for the park and the community and the county are endless. So thank you all for coming today. And Adrian, thank you and the park for all that you've done. It's just magnificent. Thank you.
Let's officially open up the Florida pool.
Congratulations.